The Alpha 21 dev stream was all about art, but weirdly, most of the interesting news was actually about Alpha 22 because it gave us an insight into actual features and not just some nice assets. So we'll go over the Alpha 22 stuff and then circle back to the Alpha 21 art later. So we saw a lot of new player character outfits as well as this new player model, which looks better than what we currently have anyway. One of the outfits we saw was this desert gear, which is made of various parts which you can pick and choose which ones you want to wear. You don't have to wear the whole thing. And here's what it looks like on a male model, and here's what it looks like on a female model. That is stupid looking. Maybe I'm missing something, but if that's supposed to be the same outfit, I see no reason for one to be this and the other to be this. Whatever, I don't care that much. We also saw the Wasteland Assassin outfit. As you can see, it's very assassiny. It has a bunch of knives and pointy objects, which are implied that the character can throw at zombies. You can't actually though. We also have the Hoarder outfit. If this gives actual carry weight boost, it's going to be the outfit everyone's wearing in Alpha 22 or whenever they decide to actually put it in the game. For reference, they were talking about updating the clothing system as far back as Alpha 20, so I wouldn't expect to actually see it in Alpha 22, although I would be pleasantly surprised if they did. We also got a look at some more of the bandits. We've already seen 3 bandits before, but now we have the Raider bandit, which looks like this. Pretty cool mask there. And we have the Overlord, again continuing with the bone motif. The best Alpha 22 asset by far is this dead guy. I think he's cool. We also saw some concept art for vehicles. The minibike and 4x4 are going to be getting a visual update, which looks pretty good. The minibike has a toilet to let you know how shit it is. We also saw some UI concepts, which are also pretty interesting, although I would imagine they're going to go through a lot of changes before we ever actually see them. So it's pretty much pointless to show us it. If I'm moving too fast, by the way, remember the pause button is right there and you can zoom in as you please. Oh, and the like and subscribe buttons are there to press as you please too. But yeah, we got the concept art for the Duke's Casino and Noah's Bunker. Basically the HQ for the bad guys and the good guys respectively. We also got these images of updated crafting stations and writable storage crates, which look pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. The stuff in this image is a mix of Alpha 21 and Alpha 22, by the way, so expect to see the forge in Alpha 21, but the workbench might come later. Okay, we're getting back to just Alpha 21 news now. So first off, we got a big image with all of these new assets. They're mostly just stuff you're going to see around POIs. Not all that interesting in my opinion. We got to see some coloured lighting options, which are pretty cool, but again, I think that's just for POIs, which kinda sucks. Although it'll be good for all you custom POI makers out there. We saw a decent amount of new trader compounds as well. We saw the exteriors for Bob, Jen and Joel's compounds, and we saw the interiors for what I think are meant to be Bob, Jen and Joel's. But the last one actually looks a lot more like Hugh to me. We also saw some related signage. We have Hugh, Jen, Joel, Bob, and another Jen. I hate this, by the way. We also saw a bunch of alcohol cases which won't bring any new items, they are just art you'll find lying around. The magical candy is getting an update though, nothing particularly notable, just some HD updates. We're getting a new case of medals, again, just cosmetic. We got some blueprints of the makeshift guns in 7 Days to Die, basically confirming that all of the firearms you ever use in 7 Days to Die are actually completely cobbled together. There is no existing firearms in the world, which I find highly unlikely in the state of Arizona, located in the United States of America. But I digress. Here we heard the artist gleefully boast about how ignorant he is about guns. That is a good way to endear yourself to your incredibly gun-loving southern USA heavy fanbase with a large amount of military veterans. Telling them how much you take joy in not knowing a damn thing you're in charge of putting into their game is a very good way to endear yourself to the fans. Real lightning rod strategy, 10 out of 10, genius. We got some flags, they're pretty neat, although this is kind of cursed. We also got some tents, again, pretty neat. And we saw even more doors. If you didn't get enough doors last time, there's even more of them now. Yay. We did get some non-drivable vehicles like these construction vehicles and these trucks. Get it guys, the fire truck says boob. Ha 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 hee hee ho ho. boobies. Moving on. We got a closer look at the sign for the Duke's Casino as well. We can see that he's called Duke Caçador. Apologies if that has a more interesting pronunciation that I butchered. As I understand it, it is the Brazilian Portuguese version of the more commonly seen word cazador, which is Spanish for hunter. It may also be a reference to a modern day, real-life, Arizona-based educator of the San Carlos Apache tribe. Huila Cazador? For those that don't know, 7 Days to Die is set in the fictional county of Navezgane in Arizona. Navezgane is the Apache word for monster killer, and there is a lot of Apache influences in the Navezgane map. The Duke appears to be of Native American descent, and it may be character intended to reference or be related to the real woman, or perhaps it's just a big coincidence. It's also worth noting that the Spear Hunter skill book also referenced someone with the name Caçador. We also know that one of the bandit gangs in this game is supposed to be called the Caçadors. That was some information from a long time ago, and it may well have changed by now. So this is all just a nice thread, some actual 7 Days to Die lore. Neat. Now you may be wondering why I just told you all of that. The Caçador stuff isn't exactly news we saw in the stream, it's just stuff I researched. And that's because in that 2.5 hour stream, they showed us some art, and it barely even covers like 5 minutes of content in 2.5 hours. So I thought I'd give you a nice lore theory and a fun fact about Arizona that I gathered myself while researching a different video. I wanted to make sure you actually got something interesting out of this video. If you value your time, hit the subscribe button and watch my short summary videos a few hours after the streams come out, instead of wasting 2.5 hours on the VOD or watching it live at 3 AM like I did. If you missed last week's summary video of the previous stream, you can see it here. Thank you to my channel members and patrons for making these videos possible, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.